Picture this scene, a solitary figure, wielding power so potent that it forever alters the trajectory of history. This man, an enigmatic figure, reshapes not just a nation, but the entire world, steering humanity towards a path of destruction. The orchestrator of this tale, draped in the veil of infamy, is none other than Adolf Hitler, the mastermind behind one of the most significant territorial expansions and catastrophic events of the 20th century. Born in Austria, Adolf Hitler rose to prominence in German politics, becoming the Chancellor in 1933 and later assuming the mantle of the Führer in 1934. His hypnotic speeches and promise of a brighter dawn for the German people won their hearts. It's an intriguing paradox to grasp the extent of his sway. You might be curious, how did this man manage to grow Germany's borders so significantly amid the tumult of World War II? To decipher this, we must journey back to the early 1930s, to a time when Germany was a nation hobbled by the crushing burden of the Great Depression. The economic downturn had devastated the country, leaving its people yearning for a beacon of hope. It was in 1933 when the political landscape dramatically shifted. Adolf Hitler and the National Socialist German Workers' Party, commonly known as the Nazi Party, took the reins. Empowered with his captivating oratory skills, Hitler assured prosperity and a resurgence to glory. He depicted a panoramic view of a thriving Germany, liberated from economic despair, and the people, seeking a ray of hope, embraced his vision. By doing so, he sparked an expansion that echoed far beyond Germany, etching a deep wound on the face of history. This growth brought about transformations, the echoes of which are still discernible today. His actions have left an enduring imprint on the world. Hitler's name now epitomizes tyranny and devastation, standing as a stark reminder of the potential darkness within human nature. He irrevocably shifted the course of history, and his story serves as a poignant warning for the generations to come. Through his actions, Hitler was able to leave an indelible mark on the world. His name is now synonymous with tyranny and destruction, serving as a chilling reminder of the darker side of human nature. He forever altered the trajectory of history, and his tale continues to serve as a stark warning for future generations. Adolf Hitler's first major step was to withdraw from the League of Nations in 1933, a move that marked the inception of his aggressive foreign policy. This move was unprecedented, stunning the global community, as it underscored his audacious intentions. It was a calculated decision that didn't come out of the blue, but had been meticulously planned. The League of Nations, established after the devastation of World War I, was envisioned as a forum that would ensure peace and security. By withdrawing, Hitler essentially signaled a rejection of peace and diplomacy. In the year that followed, 1934, the Führer left the world aghast again. He proceeded to sign a non-aggression pact with Poland, a move that confounded the international community. This pact was a tactical maneuver, strategically planned to fulfill his larger goal of territorial expansion. It was akin to a game of chess, where every move is deliberate and part of a well-thought-out strategy. Hitler was setting the stage for his grand vision of a new German empire. 1935 was a pivotal year in Hitler's rise. He decided to reintroduce conscription and announced to the world the rearmament of Germany. It was a shocking violation of the Treaty of Versailles, the peace agreement that had concluded the horrors of World War I. This open defiance of international law was a bold, provocative statement of his intention to make Germany a leading world power once again. Hitler's actions were not impulsive, but carefully orchestrated, signaling a determined intent to challenge the existing world order. He was, piece by piece, defying the constraints placed on Germany after World War I. His shrewd maneuvers were all part of a well-devised strategy to resurrect German dominance and lay the groundwork for the Third Reich. Every decision taken, every move made was a deliberate and strategic step towards building the Third Reich. In 1936, Adolf Hitler decided to remilitarize the Rhineland, an area designated as demilitarized by the Treaty of Versailles. This move was a bold, calculated risk on Hitler's part. He understood that the world was still reeling from the effects of the First World War, and did not wish for another conflict. Hitler, with his charismatic persona and fiery speeches, managed to convince his people to support his plans, further solidifying his control over the German populace. The Rhineland's remilitarization was seen by the international community, particularly France and the United Kingdom, as a blatant affront to the Versailles Treaty. Yet, these nations, still haunted by the devastating losses of the First World War, hesitated to retaliate and chose not to intervene. They were content to maintain a watchful eye on Germany's actions, a decision that would later have significant implications. The year 1938 marked a turning point in history. Hitler, furthering his expansionist agenda, initiated the Anschluss, effectively annexing Austria into Germany. This was a powerful statement to the world, demonstrating Hitler's ambition to restore Germany's pre-World War I glory and beyond. This audacious action was the first major expansion of German territory under Hitler's rule. Throughout the rest of the year, Hitler continued his aggressive policies. The Munich Agreement, signed later in 1938, turned out to be a pivotal event. It allowed Germany to annex the Sudetenland, a region of Czechoslovakia primarily inhabited by German-speaking people. This agreement, widely seen as an appeasement policy by the Western nations, further emboldened Hitler and set the stage for the disintegration of Czechoslovakia and the gradual descent into the Second World War. This agreement allowed Germany the right to annex the Sudetenland, a region of Czechoslovakia predominantly inhabited by ethnic. In the year 1939, a pivotal moment in history took shape when Adolf Hitler, the then leader of Nazi Germany, took the audacious step of invading Poland. This single act of aggression is widely considered to have been the catalyst, the spark, the letdown of diplomacy, and the initiation of a devastatingly brutal conflict known as World War II. A war that would span 6 years, engulfing the planet in an unprecedented chaos that marked a dark era in human history. Hitler, at the helm of the Nazi regime, was a man of ruthless ambition. He had a vision of a world under the rule of a grand Aryan race, a vision that was deeply flawed, yet deeply believed by millions. To him, the invasion of Poland was a calculated move, a step closer to realizing his dream. A dream that would unfortunately become a nightmare for countless innocent lives. Even prior to this audacious assault, there had been a pact of non-aggression inked between Hitler and Stalin, the then dictator of the Soviet Union. This agreement, known as the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, was signed in 1939. It was designed to prevent either nation from attacking the other, a pact that was intended to bring a semblance of peace in an increasingly tense geopolitical atmosphere. It was a pact that, in its essence, was meant to bring about a relative calm before an inevitable storm. However, this illusion of peace was short-lived. Within a span of 2 years, the false veneer of mutual respect and peace between the two nations crumbled under the weight of deceit and treachery. In June 1941, Hitler, in a move that shocked the world, broke his very promise. He betrayed the trust of the Soviet Union, ripping apart the delicate fabric of diplomacy that had been woven through the non-aggression pact. He strategically launched an invasion on the Soviet Union, an operation known as Operation Barbarossa. It was unanticipated, it was brutal, and it marked yet another turning point in this global conflict, a war that had already taken a toll on humanity. This marked yet another turning point in this global conflict that changed the course of history forever. During this extended period, Adolf Hitler also engineered the Holocaust, a systematically executed genocide in which approximately 6 million Jews were gruesomely murdered. This appalling event serves as a glaring reminder of the perils of unchecked power and rampant hatred. However, Hitler's territorial expansion was not everlasting. The course of the war gradually shifted against Germany. By the year 1945, the Allied forces successfully defeated Hitler's oppressive regime. Hitler, in the end, chose to die by suicide in his bunker in Berlin, marking the fall of his reign. Subsequently, Germany was partitioned into 4 distinct occupied zones, symbolizing the end of a dark era. In summary, the expansion of Germany under Hitler's rule was characterized by calculated strategic moves, blatant disregard for international treaties, and an unyielding hunger for power. These actions set in motion the annexation of Austria and the Sudetenland, plus the invasion of Poland, as well as the Soviet Union. However, the expansion was fleeting and ultimately gave way to Hitler's collapse and the termination of World War II. Yet, amidst the narrative of territorial expansion, it is critical that we don't forget the Holocaust. This genocide, meticulously planned and executed by Hitler, led to the horrific death of approximately 6 million Jews. This period stands out as one of the bleakest chapters in human history, acting as a grim reminder of the disastrous outcomes of hatred and discrimination. As we delve into the journey of Hitler's expansion of Germany during World War II, we uncover a time of vast change, characterized by hostility, territorial growth, and widespread devastation. The lesson, it is clear: the potency of leadership can have immense consequences, and vigilance is of utmost importance in the face of hate and intolerance.